Hey, how's it going, everyone? See, there's a few of you tuning in, so welcome. Thanks for stopping in. Let's go ahead and transition over here to F1 now, and we'll see where we can pick ourselves kind of off the floor from Bahrain, and we were able to lift ourselves onto another podium at Russia. So that was an awesome comeback there, as we as we threw a bunch of new power unit components in the back of our Williams. So in terms of the driver standings, we're actually tied with Seb Vettel on 50 points. Kimi has won 3 out of 4 races so far this year, as his AI seems to be rather overpowered on this game. So yeah, three wins and a second so far this year, nearly maximum points for him. So Ferrari's miles ahead in the in the drivers and in the constructor standings. But that's not our goal, at least not this season. We're going to bring Williams back to the top, but we'll probably take, you know, at least 2 seasons, maybe 3, in order for that to happen. So let's see, Mercedes has had a really terrible start to the season. As you can probably see, they're 6th and 7th in the standings, absolutely miles off. A lot of unreliability, which is very strange for Mercedes, especially since this is technically like the 2017 year in the career mode. So they should actually have really good reliability. So not sure what's going on with that, but I'm sure Ferrari are not going to complain about that for 1 second. So let's go ahead and jump in here to Barcelona, a track that I've driven on various games across the years for, I mean, with many different cars, but mainly F1 cars. Obviously, it's pretty much what the track is renowned for. Pretty much the first Grand Prix I think I watched, it was either the 2008, I think it was the 2008 Spanish Grand Prix, and then I also remember watching 2009 when there was all sorts of carnage in the first couple of corners. So yeah, let's kind of see where we are. We'll pick back up on the R&D side. Haven't done anything to powertrain yet, unsurprisingly. We've got 1 aero upgrade, 1 chassis upgrade. We got 820 resource points. I'm trying to remember what we said we were going to spend the resource points on last time. I want to say it was probably the under tray for the rear floor. Causes extreme injury from the... Oh, that's a good... Skimming to flying lab, return to garage, causes extreme engine wear from the simulated out laps and laps. Yeah, that's a good thing to point out, Mark. I never really thought that... never really thought about that. I mean, there is that whole simulate session thing, so I guess when it comes to Codemasters, you never really know what kind of bugs can kind of creep through the system. I guess upgrades not applying to teammates and general things, at least based on looking at or watching Team at Marduk's videos and all that. I don't know if he's 100% about those complaints or not, because I'd imagine Codemasters probably try to watch and listen to everything he says. But yeah, I guess we can do the in and the out laps. That might be able to save our engines, but we did get the internal combustion engine 1 upgrade, so that is going to lower everything by 30%. So let us see. So yeah, after that race there, our engine is at 25%, which actually isn't probably as good as I was hoping it would be. After, I mean, that is after the entire weekend. So I mean, we had 84% for that for the first power unit. So I mean, I guess it's slightly lower, but not even 10% over 3 races. So that kind of sucks. But hey guys, yeah, I mean, it's Codemasters. What are you gonna do about it? So let's go ahead and proceed on to practice 1, and let's get these R&D tests and all this stuff out of the way, and hopefully I can skip this cutscene fast enough so Chase Carey or Ross Braun don't come after me with a knife in the middle of the night. So what do we got here? Do we have any kind of an upgrade? Oh god, no, it's a cutscene. I was gonna say maybe there was an upgrade or something I wasn't anticipating.
Over the next few minutes, the teams will be heading out onto this classic Formula 1 track for what we're expecting to be a very hectic practice session.
Really? You guys try to drum up drama from nothing. Practice 1 is not really very dramatic.
Other places about this current crop of F1 cars and why they're so much faster now, despite being significantly heavier than the previous generations of machines. Take us through that one.
I'd be happy to, Crofty. And simply put, it's a matter of grip. Now, that comes from 2 sources. You have what we call mechanical grip, which comes from the...
Let's see if Marcus Ericsson can teleport into his car. Oh, man, he got up from his chair, though, and put that balaclava on really quickly. I mean, I guess that's slightly more believable than when he goes from sitting in the chair in the back of the garage to just teleport straight into his car. Hey, look, there I am. Alright. I guess first things first, instead of procrastinating, let's go ahead and look at the weather. See what we're going to get. I kind of wish they did more than 10-minute increments there. Because I don't want to sit here forever and watch that click by on practice 1. So it looks like dry in P1, P2, dry in P3, qualifying is dry, and the race is also dry. Awesome. I mean, I really can't complain about having a fully dry weekend, especially with us. I'll reiterate it yet again, we have the second worst chassis on the grid, but that is what we are doing the resource points for today, so that we can get enough points to be able to buy sort of the second upgrade in the tree, which will allow us to branch out and be able to put a lot of upgrades, a lot of chassis upgrades on the car. That's pretty much going to be the key thing for me this season, is just to try to get as many chassis upgrades on as possible. So even though this is gonna add some time to the overall experience, let's I think I'll go to the simulated flying laps for qualifying, but during the practices here, let's just go ahead and let's try to avoid some of that excessive engine wear, if that's actually a bug. I should probably keep an eye on the Codemasters forums maybe a bit a bit more often, see what kind of bugs there are and what people are reporting. So that we got somebody out on track already before us. So this is the first time that the hard tires, the hard compound is used, and I don't know if this is the only time that it's used in the entire calendar, because I remember after this weekend in particular, I think there was a lot of sort of uproar about the hard tire being completely pointless. Because I want to say in the... Ooh, man, there's like no traction. I want to say a lot of the real teams just straight up never even used the hard tire the entire weekend here at Catalunya. So then Pirelli got rid of it for the remainder of the season. And actually, halfway around here on the outlap, I actually just remembered that I forgot to load a setup. So combined with the green track on the least grippy tires, this is going to be an interesting track acclimatization. I haven't really done that many laps around this circuit on this game in particular, and this will probably be about one of the most challenging scenarios. Only thing that would be more difficult right off the bat would be as if it was raining right now. But yeah, it looks like we're going to have a dry weekend. So I guess really the only thing I can do here is just try to be really, really gentle on the throttle. Because, I mean, the rear end is wanting to step out even just mid-corner. I don't know if that's just the tires, lack of setup, or exactly what are all the contributing factors. But after we successfully do this, we'll go back in the pits. We'll put a setup on and hopefully put on some softer tires, so we can have a little bit more fun out here rather than kind of tiptoeing around on these hard tires. Interesting how there's two gates like right there back to back. I don't think I've actually ever seen two gates that close to each other during one of these tests. I'm not sure if this will be enough for the purple. Hoping it will be. Awesome. All right, so we got the purple right off the bat. That's always good. Oh yeah, forgot. Let's not go return to garage and do all of that. So we'll just leave it in lean. Save the internal combustion engine. May as well sort of just drive around through the gates, why not? So just wanted to give a shout out to my fellow ACR teammates for nearly pulling off a double podium, but we did get our first win in FSR, Formula Sim Racing, over on R Factor 2 in the World Championship Series. Gotta say, those guys really are able to show what they're made of. Some of the competitors weren't there due to various reasons, but those guys still put in a ton of effort, and there was still some extremely challenging competition there to test them this past Sunday, and they were able to come out on top with a race win and a 4th place, and that was definitely our single best result ever in FSR. So yeah, we got one more race coming up. I'm guessing it's not this weekend, but the weekend after, and yeah, I'm sure they're gonna the guys are gonna be looking to get another at least one more race win. If we can get a double podium to finish off the season, that would be absolutely amazing. But yeah, I'm sure the guys will have a lot of motivation to try to finish off the year even stronger as we build for FSR in 2018. All right. Alright, so we're back in the pits. I think it's the first time I've actually driven completely back into the pits on this game, apart from in like league qualifying and all that. Do I have a setup save? No, I do not. Interesting. Excuse me. I really have no idea what I should run. Thinking maybe maybe this Melbourne set. I don't know. We'll give it a shot.
We'll make the changes you requested.
I'm sure it's got to be better than. Nice, Chris. What's up? Yeah, but I'm sure this setup will probably be better than the default at least. So let's go ahead and drive out, and we'll do our tire management test.
When you're ready, let's go.
Big shot. Oh, not quite everybody, Martin. Hey, what's up, Demon? Yeah, I sort of saw some of the time trial setups, and yeah, I probably should have ran more than that. Big shot. I really don't think I'm going to be running 410 wings with 11 ballast. That's a little bit extreme. The career mode cars just don't have enough grip. Maybe in the Mercedes or the Red Bull or something, but the online cars just have a hell of a lot more grip, so you're just able to run that that ballast a lot more rearward. Yeah, thanks everybody that's watching, tuning in, leaving comments. If you could also think about hitting the like button as well, I would appreciate that. Try to get as many people into these live streams as we can. I know it's pretty late for the European guys out there. Gonna try to typically do these maybe about an hour or two earlier, but during the week it's a little bit tough for me just because of me being 5 hours behind the UK, and then obviously even more hours behind people who are not in the UK, even further east. But appreciate the support any way you can. Ah, 9 wings. Yeah, we'll see how the tire management test goes here, and maybe if I'm not able to get purple on this straight away, maybe increase the arrow a little bit. That might help with the tire deg. At least I know it does on on other games, or I should say sims. But I know this is, even though it's a lot more realistic than the original Codemasters F1 games, it's definitely nowhere near a sim yet. I do hope Codemasters still kind of trend more towards sim-like over the next couple of years. I think they could be in a really good place if they sort of keep the same philosophy they have that they've been on kind of since 2015, 2016. So I know this corner right here is going to be tough. I always sort of felt the car wanting to slide around. I didn't want to slide too much there or turn the car too much. Otherwise, I know I'd get a lot of tire deg. But yeah, we're happy second up. Low tire wear. I like it. I like it. Wasn't pushing the car obviously at all right there, but. So we'll follow Mark's advice again. We'll do our in-laps. We'll pull over for, who's this? Mr. Baguette himself has joined the party. If anybody heard about the, I guess this leaked F1 Live event that may be happening in France, as Grosjean has problems with his brakes. Wow, that's unsurprising. It wasn't even going, but maybe like 100 miles an hour into that corner. It was not going very fast at all, and just locked up and into the gravel. Oh, Roman. Oh dear. But yeah, this kind of French F1 Live event. I understand the reason why they didn't announce it publicly beforehand for the London event was because they were worried about terrorist attacks, unsurprisingly. So obviously, if this rumor about, yeah, Martin, they actually got that freaking spot on. So I do just kind of have to wonder why this reporter would either make that up and leak out the event way beforehand. Because after what's happening in quite a few countries in Europe, I'd be surprised that the FOM guys, Formula One management, would want people to know about an event, you know, like a year or nearly a year before the event takes place. But so long as it's a safe event, I don't really care where they do the F1 Lives. I'll tell you what though, if it's anywhere near where I live in the US, I would be all over that, so long as it's not in like California or something. It'd be cool if they did it in like Miami. Even though I'm only one state away, Miami is still like a 12-hour drive, which is pretty crazy. But I don't know. I mean, if all the F1 drivers turn up, that's going to be the closest. That'll be the closest that I'll probably ever get, because Austin is pretty much. Jesus Christ, Jeff, stop talking. Because Austin is very, very far away from me, so it's kind of really unjustifiable to travel that far. But yeah, we'll step up to 9.9 on the wings. 7 ballast, I mean, is what it is. I don't want to run too high a ballast just because I do know that these kind of lower grip cars in career mode, they do not like it at all. Alright, so we're at 66% wear on the gearbox. I have no idea if I'm going to start having issues with it this race. I'm hoping that maybe I can get through this race. Maybe, I don't know, I might have to take a grid penalty for, oh god, I really don't want to take a grid penalty for Monaco, of all of the races, because of a gearbox. That's actually something I might want to consider doing, depending on how qualifying goes. Yeah. I don't know, I'm almost kind of tempted to take that, if I don't qualify, maybe in the top 5, maybe take the 5-place grid drop.
30 minutes of this session remain.
But yeah, let's go ahead and complete the practice programs before we worry too much about gearboxes and such. We can wait until FP3 for that stuff. Alright, so fuel saving.
All set.
Not the most endearing thing in the world to do. But I don't think it'll be too bad. As long as I don't get too much wheel spin, should be okay. Yeah, I have no idea if the higher aero is actually going to make me perform worse in this fuel saving test, or if it just kind of scales based on whatever the setup is and the aero, or whatever, if the aero is independent of the fuel saving test, which I'm guessing it probably is. Yeah, this on the outlap already, this is definitely feeling quite a lot better. I feel like I can just push the car right away, even on the medium tires. Oh God. Gotta remember for the league race this weekend not to really touch those curbs at all, except for pretty much in this chicane. I really don't understand how you can still just jump over those sausage curbs and not really suffer any kind of drawbacks from that. So we got a car coming out of the pit lane here. It's a Force India. Yeah, since it's fuel saving, we may as well just go flat through turn 3. Just go down to 5th gear here. Oh God. Figured in 5th gear, if I got back on the throttle there, the traction would be just fine. Apparently not. Let's just try to stay like 1 gear higher than we normally would. I see we're up to nearly 10 people watching. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. As a reminder, everything's 110% AI. All the assists are off. Just doing the R&D tests here in free practice, which we should be done with here in, I don't know, maybe about 20-30 minutes. And then we'll move on to qualify, and then we got a 50% race after that. Trying to time this just right. Awesome. I was short shifting like crazy there. So we accomplished another team objective. That's cool. So we already got, I think I saw 1 pop up after one of the other tests, so we're earning ourselves quite a few R&D points, enough to start this chassis upgrade. Which we'll definitely want to go ahead and get started. It's a shame we won't have it for Monaco. I'd imagine Monaco probably won't be that bad, because it doesn't really seem like this game is that realistic in the sense that, like, McLaren Honda, even though they technically should be able to show up to a track like Monaco, they should do really well because they have a good chassis. The game's performance really doesn't reflect it that way, so I think we'll probably be, performance-wise, in Monaco pretty much where we are now, which is just behind the top 3 teams. I have no idea how the AI actually, how they go around here in terms of pace. Bahrain, they were really quick. Russia, not so much, but yeah, so we're just doing our in and out laps here. Mark in chat said that the simulated laps contribute to a lot higher wear, so I don't really mind doing the in and out laps. So it makes it actually feel even a little bit more realistic doing this. even though I'm sure the real F1 drivers would love to have their practice programs only take one lap. I'd imagine that if Kimmy could vote on putting somebody else in the car, he would probably do that. Yeah, Demon. I just think the Maconda is just way too far, like, off the pace. If you just look at what Fernando and even Stoffel recently, like what they've both been able to do, like, the car performance is just way too dramatic between the. You know, I think in the race, the car performances should be pretty drastic, but because it seems like the top 3 teams just lap everybody nowadays. But especially in like one lap performance, you know, the pace differential is not as dramatic as it is in the actual races. All right, so let's move on to qualifying or qualifying practice, pace, qualifying pace, R&D. So yeah, I did stream my my last, or I should say my most recent AOR Apex Online Racing league race around Russia. It took quite an unbelievable poll, which I just pulled that kind of out of nowhere. Kind of a combination of myself doing a lap I never expected to do, combined with several others that had way more pace than me, just not being able to hook a complete lap up. But you know, that's kind of the way it goes. The race was going okay. I did like practically no race practice at all, apart from a social race like 1 week prior, and I had damage, and you know, at the first corner, just minor front wing damage. So that race was basically just a write-off, anyways. So going into that race, I pretty much didn't have any practice, so I knew I was probably going to be a little bit off the pace in terms of race pace and definitely even qualifying. So to start on pole was pretty insane. And yeah, we were looking pretty good, sort of on for probably a podium at worst, but because I actually didn't incur any corner cutting penalties throughout the entire race, the only thing I got a penalty for was overtaking RBK, who had half spun. So I got an off-track overtake warning. But yeah, other than that, the race, if it didn't have the incidents, then I'm sure I pretty much would have been right up there. Maybe would have won just purely on lack of corner cut penalties, which would be kind of a shallow way to win a race. But obviously, if that would have happened, I would not have said no to it. But yeah, eventually I will make that. That race replay public. I've just got it private at the time being. I might release them like maybe the weekend after or something like that, the Friday after the actual race. That, or maybe I might actually even do like a highlights package or something, who knows. I'm more than capable of doing that. If you actually go back on my channel a couple of years ago, that's pretty much all I used to do, was make highlight videos for my my AOR races. Oh man. Yeah, I could already feel the tires going there. So I think these things are probably, oh wow, holy crap, look at the tire wear. Jesus. I'm sure some of that was probably probably because of the spin. Thank you, Mitchie. Yeah, I honestly don't know if that lap time target is actually even really capable of, or at least I don't know if I'm able to actually get that. I mean, 21.1. It's definitely asking for a lot. I mean, that's like 0.6 quicker, so 6.5. But we'll see. I've had to be sort of content with some of these in the past. Yeah, nearly did. Well, the good thing is my tire didn't explode on like the penultimate lap of the race. But yeah, just doing our end lap, driving back in. Yeah, I think the tires are only going to be good for that first lap. I mean, with how much of a percent? I mean, I had like 12% or something. As I have to wait on Felipe to be pushed back in. But yeah, I had like 10 or 11% just after that first lap, so that's kind of insane. All right, finally. So yeah, I think we'll move on to the race strategy R&D test. That should be a bit more achievable. And then we'll skip ahead to practice 3, and then we'll try the qualifying pace test again to see if we can get it. Like I said, was it like 6 1/4 or something? That's going to be a hell of a task to be able to achieve that. So we'll give it a shot. I'd imagine I'd probably get a few tenths closer, but I'm not going to earn anything. I'm not going to earn those 20 points I'm missing there, unless I'm able to achieve their target. All right. So we'll drive out again. But we already got what was that, 200 out of 275 there. So we're still doing all right. If we get a 50 out of 50 on the race strategy, which we normally always do, that'll be us sitting on a 250 out of 275. I'd imagine that the Fernando Alonso AI on this game, if they... I almost wish they had team radio or something that could pop up randomly throughout the race. I'd much rather hear even if they just took like real life team radios for, say, if Fernando Alonso has a retirement in the race, like a few seconds later, like a radio blip will pop up like real life, and you'll just hear one of Alonso's complaints about no power or something. That'd be, I would give the game a 10 out of 10 at that point. I don't think that would require a whole lot of effort either. Maybe Vettel getting held behind some cars, then you hear a blue flag message pop up, you know? Make it seem a lot more realistic. Alright, so we'll let those guys ahead. Get a bit of distance so that we can try to have some clear road here for our race strategy test. A lot of understeer on the exit of turn 3 there. Not really too unsurprising. Grass on the inside of turn 4 is not going to help. Man, it's like you just barely touch a curb around here, and it really does unsettle the car quite a lot. Martin Stefanko, ladies and gentlemen, in chat. Biggest Fernando Alonso fan on the planet. Nah, man, it's all good. I appreciate the spam. At least there's actually some interaction. I appreciate it. Alright. So still getting, that was 4.5% or something for average tire wear, and that was on, that's on the medium tire. So we're averaging like 4.5, maybe close to like 5% a lap. So I do know, at least just from watching a couple of leagues that have already held a race around here, that the soft to hard strategy for 50% is doable. So that's pretty much going to be what I what I go with. Moderator fight! Moderator fight! I don't know what I was saying now. I guess probably better just to hold fourth through that corner. Just, I've always hated that turn. I don't even know what it is, but corner number, I guess in like 11 or something. Just never been a big fan of it. You would think that these 2017 cars there'd be enough grip and traction and everything to easily get through that corner without much of a fuss, but apparently not. Alright, so we've just got one more lap to complete here on the race strategy program, and then we can skip our way, as I was completely interrupted. So rude from Jeff yet again. We can move on to FP3, give that qualifying strategy another qualifying pace, another attempt, see if we can do it. Wow, so you don't want to run wide on that curb. Alright. There we go, optimal pace, average wear 4.3. So at least I actually went, at least I actually managed to go a little bit lower throughout the whole thing. Nearly forgot to do the end lap here and not just go back to the pits. So our gearbox is at 67%, which is sort of worrying for this race. Everything else, though, I think should be fine. Monaco's probably not going to be looking too great by the end of it. But so long as I've got full power during qualifying for Monaco, I'll be fairly happy. Never know, the AI might not be able to put together very good laps and might be able to steal a pretty decent grid slot around there. But unfortunately, I'm gonna guess that I'm not gonna be able to hold the pace anywhere near the Ferraris and the Mercedes and probably the Red Bulls around there. So pretty much my only way I'll be able to finish ahead is just to try to qualify ahead of them. Alright. So we got purple straight away. And I guess 67%, well, it's probably about 65, I guess, whenever we started. But 65% after 4 races, I don't think that's too bad. But I do know that at least once the ICE climbs above 75, that's when things get a bit more challenging. A Senna 91. Now that's only if my name is Seb Vettel at Brazil in 2011. I thought that comment or that team radio was like so disingenuous at the time. That's like, yeah, you're not manhandling a freaking 6-speed H pattern, you know, gearbox, and only basically just having one gear that you can use the entire time. By the way, I still think that that 2011 race at Brazil, I still think that was like some kind of organized way for Red Bull to get Weber a win that season. I just love some conspiracy theories when it comes to some of these F1 results. Just because Mark didn't have a win the entire season. Alright, let us go ahead and end P1.
An interesting practice session there then. Let's remind ourselves of the top 3, who are Raikkonen, Hamilton.
So was I the only one that actually used the soft tire?
That concludes an interesting practice session. Let's hope for
Yes, I
more
was.
excitement as the weekend unfolds.
See, I have my Martin Stefanko sensor on, by the way. Alright. Oh, look, we're already over 1,000 points. So, dominating that rivalry against Felipe. I guess there's a chance we might be able to end that rivalry straight away. I don't know if that means that we'll get #1 driver. I'm assuming not. So we're all good on that. Gearbox is up to 68%. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Let's just go to practice 2, skip it, go to practice 3. Well, I mean, I am American, so, I mean, this is a clockwise circuit, which means there's more right-hand corners than left. So, I mean, of course I'm going to be shit around here. I mean, that's pretty obvious, right? Alright. I don't even know why I even bother going to look at the setup to see if it's still on here, because I'm not even going to participate in this session. Come on. NP2.
Quick look at the classification at the end of the session then. Here are your top 3. Bottas,
Alright. What kind of what are we loading here? Okay. You get 10 points for doing absolutely nothing. Thank you, Williams. Alright. I just want to see something here, just in case. Alright, so gearbox did not go up. Alright. Just kind of, I was just testing the waters there. Maybe my gearbox would just randomly go up 5%, even though I didn't even do a single lap in the entire session. And let's skip this. Alright. Let's check the setup again. Alright, got 99 wing. Minimum fuel. Yeah, I think we're all good there. Yeah. It's a 30-minute session. So I think I should probably accelerate time. If it's anything like the online qualifying sessions, the difference in performance between the beginning of the session and the end is upwards of like 3 to 5 tenths a lap. I mean, especially at Bahrain, I remember that being a huge one. You wanted to definitely make sure you got a good lap in right at the end of the session. And I think Russia was pretty much the same, actually, just looking back on it in hindsight. So if there's anybody out there wondering about the online and grip levels and various things, little tips, only concentrate on doing a banker straight away. Try to save your best for last. Basically, try to do a one-lap dash right at the very end. When the track is at its highest levels, because Codemasters, I think, just as every minute clicks by, or every 5 minutes or something, in the online sessions, the grip levels just keep going up and up and up. So you just want to be out there right as the clock strikes 0 to go and set your time. Alright. Which, I mean, that's pretty obvious, but yeah, there's definitely a huge, like, say if you were to start your last lap with like 3 or 4 minutes remaining, you know, say if you go out, you don't do a good first lap, you come back in, you go straight back out, you know, if you start your lap with 3 or 4 minutes remaining, you're simply just not going to be as fast as somebody who nails a lap right at the end. And if anybody does manage to get a pole position in like a competitive league and they on their qualifying lap right at the beginning of the session, I'd be very surprised. Alright, so we got one set of tires here. Tires are only going to last for a single lap. So let's give this another shot.
There'll be a lack of rubber out on track. Try to take it easy for a couple of laps.
There'll be a lack of rubber? Really, Jeff? After I've accelerated 20 minutes into this session and given myself, you know, a little bit more time than I really needed, but I didn't want to wait until right at the very end just in case the track was super busy. Which, it's not looking like it at the moment. There's only about 10 cars out here on track. As we have Felipe coming down the pit straight. So nice and sunny conditions this time. Unlike the sort of appalling weather that we had in FP1. Very overcast. Very depressing. So we're just going to run in lean here on the outlap, and we'll kick it up into Rich. I wish we could have actually taken a bit. Actually, you know what? Screw this. I'm going to burn a little bit of fuel out here before the start of the lap. There's a plane about to crash land into Sector 3. What is it with Codemasters and wanting to make sure, like, if somebody spent time modeling a plane and they want to put it into every single track? I mean, I know there's airports near some of the circuits, but there's definitely no way they're next to every single track. That'd be crazy. Alright, so due to our increased aero, we're all the way already way down going into turn 1, and a lockup doesn't help. Massive amount of understeer there. Short shift into 4th for a decent exit. Bit of a lift through Campsa there. Remember to stay in 4th all the way through this time. Oh god, missed the apex there. I didn't mean to turn in that early. Missed the first apex and then cut the second apex, but I left it off, so it wasn't much of a gain. And we managed to come in several tenths under the target, so that's awesome. All right. So I think at this point, let's just hit retire, because yeah, I mean, there's nothing nothing else for us to really do. As we take out the 100-meter board like a boss, retiring from the race. Or retiring from the practice 3 here.
As all the cars are now over the line,
Awesome,
your top
so we got
three again
P5.
are Raikkonen, Vettel, and Valtteri Bottas. Thank you for joining us for free practice today. We'll be back with more Formula One action very shortly.
So still a pretty good mix of tires there. Kind of surprising, definitely not realistic, because obviously all the teams are going to do some kind of a simulated qualifying run at some point in FP3. But yeah, Ferrari's obviously looking very strong, almost in the 1 minute 19s already, which I'm sure they will be. Well, I don't know. To go down the rabbit hole, Martin, basically the only logical thing to do was to go to FP3 and then advance in session and try to get a good lap right at the very end when the grip levels are going to be a lot higher. Alright, let's see what Emma has to say.
Hi, how are you? I'm just passing on your qualifying goals for this weekend.
Same as always. I'm sure she just has that shit on record. Like, or maybe she has an agent. I mean, an agent has an agent, right? I'm sure there's somebody working for her that just like recorded that voicemail once and just sends it to me every single Saturday. I don't know. Qualifying 8th, beat Felipe. Pretty much same old, same old. Alright. So let's take a look at our gearbox again. So it's still 68. So that's not bad. So at least got that R&D run without doing too much damage to anything. Power unit, I think, went up from 26 to 27 overall. IC is sitting at 30%. So yeah, let's look at. I guess we probably should go ahead and we should actually go ahead and look at our R&D tree, wherever it is. Where is it? All right. So we got the points. We have what, the quality control update? Yeah. Improves efficiency, meaning 10% less resource points are required to create new chassis-related upgrades. I should probably actually buy that at some point. But let's go ahead and just spend the 1,000 and get this upgrade, which will be on the car for Canada. And then maybe when we get 750 points, we will buy some chassis factory efficiencies, maybe 1 or 2. At least the first one, because that 10% will definitely come back as a huge benefit once we start getting into some of these major upgrades. All right, let us go on to qualifying then. So I think we're looking somewhat promising after that practice session. I know some of the top teams didn't go on to softs. But to be P5, the lap definitely could have been a bit better. So, looking to maybe do a 1 minute 20 something in the actual session here.
For the start of today's qualifying session, it won't be long now until we're ready to join the action down at trackside.
Who votes for another Mercedes run-in at turn 4? If you see both of these guys, yeah, this guy taking his teammate out yet again, I would vote for it. That would make Mercedes that would make Mercedes' season on this on this career mode even worse than what it already is.
And of course, once the cars leave the garage, they'll be under parc fermé conditions. So any last-minute adjustments need to be done right here and now. Beyond that, it's all up to the driver.
Hey,
keep their tires in the right
the American.
Who can hit their apexes? No race fuel on board these days, of course. These are the fastest cars we've had in a long time.
I don't know what it is with like Sauber being favored as, you know, being shown. I swear, like every single time I do a session, they show Sauber, whether it's Pascal or Ericsson. Somebody Codemasters must be from Sweden or something. I have no idea. All right, so I'm gonna do flying laps here just to save some time. We're already an hour in, so if we were able to save some some component wear, then yeah, we would have done it there during practice. I guess let me go into setup real quick just to make sure we're on somewhat low fuel. Oh yeah, we're on 5 kilograms. I think that'll work. So there goes. I think that was Seb Vettel in the Ferrari. Let's go out for a flying lap and see what we can do here. I would never want to commit suicide, Martin. Not something an American, a true American would want to do. Alright, let's see well, what this Williams can deliver for us here on the first lap. No traffic, so nice clear road in front of us.
Close to using up the load. Pit in within 2 laps.
Oh man, that sausage curb. Really wanted to upset the car there. Alright, 20.5, really, straight away. That's cool. Definitely nowhere near a perfect lap, but, do a redneck impression. We'll see. It's already getting quite late for that. So let's return to the garage. And we'll go ahead and simulate the, rest of the time here. Top teams already down. Seb already down in the 19.6s. Pretty insane. I have no idea if they'll be in the 18s. I'm sure that's maybe the range they're going to be looking to get. But we're only a couple of hundreds off of Danny Rick, so that's looking pretty promising. Finding a bit of time over most of them in Sector 3, so that's always a good thing to see. As we're pretty much just P7, exactly where pretty much our maximum is, as we go basically team by team down through there. Ferrari, Mercedes, Red Bull, 2x2x2. And unless I'm mistaken, I think this is kind of, people have given this circuit kind of the nickname of the 2x2 circuit. It's pretty much just, you're only going to be able to drive about as fast as the car will deliver. There's always going to be a much bigger difference around here just because of aero performance of the different cars. So if the teammates are fairly close on pace, and they're going to be right next to each other on the grid. And we may as well just go straight back out here for Q2. No point in Yes, I know, Martin, you have a 24-hour cycle. I mean, you just literally don't sleep. We're gonna wring the neck out of this Williams, you hear? You're gonna see it right now. Alright, that's all you get from it. crazy amount of understeer through turn 5. Oh, and our first corner cutting penalty. In case you're wondering, strict corner cutting was on. No restarts, no redos in this series, so
We're low on fuel. We'll need to return to the pits within the next couple of
I'm not
rounds.
sure if I have enough fuel here to be able to actually do another lap on max settings. I mean, 1.7 should be enough, but we'll see. We'll give it a shot. Tires are going to be worn, but I'd rather not burn through another set. We'll see what we can do here. Have you been wondering? What have you been wondering, Martin? Wish the car had a little bit more aero through turn 3. Not really that I want to run more aero on the setup, but if the car itself was just a little bit better through there.
Fuel remaining.
Somewhere from the land of Chris Raby. Yeah, tires didn't feel very good, but I think we're actually still going to go pretty quick here. 20.4, so even better than our first run. All right. Yeah, but technically my my origins are British. Yes. I do have some family members that have actually married into Native Americans. I'm actually not kidding. But I don't think, as far as I know, I don't have any lineage or anything from Native Americans. My cousin is actually married to a Native American. Let's see. That's crazy, just 11% wear. I mean, that lap time would be more than good enough to get us into Q3. So we'll go ahead and accelerate time again. We're still P5. Yep, there goes Kimmy, and I don't know if that was, oh yeah, Botas as well. So Lewis is the first one into the 1 minute 18 barriers, as he's half a second faster than anybody else. Ridiculous. But we do have Ferrari. So we got Seb, Danny Rick, and Max going for the medium strategy for the race. So I'm going to guess they will go from medium to hard in probably one stop. If they were to do different than that, I'd be surprised. But I'd say those three right there in 4th, 5th, and 6th are the ones to definitely look out for. Probably going to have no shot or no chance in hell of beating those three if they do end up doing that one stop. But I think maybe the three at the top there, maybe a chance that we could do the one stop, get in front of them, have our track position, and, you know, just do a classic sort of park the bus and just be able to hold on to position. Let's take a look at how many tires we have. I'm guessing we got two sets here, since we only use one each. Alright, yeah, so we got one there, one here, mandatory set. Cool. So we'll give it 2 runs. If I can get like a low 20. I did a 20.4 there. If I can do like a either a 0.3 or lower, I'll be fairly happy. I really need to fix my damn clock here in my living room. I fixed everything else. I just like glance over at it and it says it's like 10 past 8 or nearly 10 past 8. Alright, try to get a little bit of a better exit here onto the straight. Not really going to help us that much with the high arrow, but every little bit will help. I'll be doing a 19, locking up into turn 1. This lap has been pretty disgusting so far. Probably got really close there to getting a cut.
You're nearly out of fuel. Almost out of fuel. You need to pit within the next 2 laps.
God, holy shit. Well then, that's one way to go through that final chicane. That took me by surprise. People said you can get away with corner cutting, but if it would have been that way back on on F1 2010, I don't think certain people in my league race would be, or league racing, would have been corner cutting like that. Alright, well that lap was already pretty much a complete pile of trash up to that point. And Trump is in frickin' South Korea anyways, Martin, so he's got Kim Jong-un to worry about for the time being. Alright. Alright. I wish I had access to the really old the Apex Online or Apex Racing League forums from way back in the day. I would send you a freaking link to that thread that I was referring to there about other drivers making their own circuit through that corner. Let's put it this way, they didn't get launched over a curb. Yeah, I mean, since this is basically just do or die. Let's, before we do that, let's take a look. How do I go to setup to look at my components? Yeah, so 70% on the gearbox. I don't know, like I think I'm just going to go ahead and bite. Well, the thing is, I'm actually not going to get a penalty, am I? I'll say, applying a new gearbox for the current one has completed the mandatory 6 race score by the rules written in group penalty. Actually, I'm going to change gearboxes. Yeah, let's go out for a run. Let's see if I can do a run real quick, and then change gearboxes before the end of Q3. Alright, so we have the infamous Codemasters glare coming back on the circuit there. I love it. Basically can't even see into that apex. Alright, so let's try to get a good lap here. Oh, well, I guess I'm fired then. Yeah, I had a little bit of trepidation there through that chicane, and still touched the curb, and then I heard the, sort of the sliding going on there. As we got 5 seconds left. So I'm guessing that I'm not going to have enough time to change gearbox here. Nope.
So qualifying is complete and we're all set for an exciting race tomorrow. Your top 3 are Vettel, Raikkonen and Valtteri Bottas. The grid is set then, so that just
that's not bad though. I mean, that's pretty much.
Join us tomorrow, where we'll be live.
That's pretty much exactly where I expected to be. So Seb Vettel stealing pole, Ferrari 1-2. They are just absolutely dominating. I have no idea what happened to the Mercedes pace, because Hamilton did an 18.9 in the in Q2, I think, and then all of a sudden in Q3 backwards, and I'm only like 3.5 tenths off of his time. That's crazy. But yeah, I mean, we're almost a second clear of Perez in the Force India, so with a perfect lap, we probably could have done a 19.9 or 19.8. Don't know if we could have actually gotten super close to those guys, but they were really, really close there between Verstappen, Hamilton, and Ricciardo. If they would have only been like a tenth in front of me, all three of them, then I'd probably be a little bit more pissed because of that. But that's honestly, I think 7th here is kind of the minimum that we can do. But let's see, maybe we get some unreliability, maybe if the AI have poor strategy choices. Let's see if we can work our way a little bit further up the grid. So over Chi by 3 positions, that's not too bad. Back up to 260, 260 resource points. So leading the rivalry, only got 4 points to go until we get until we beat Felipe. So team position's looking pretty strong, inching ever near getting into that purple zone for team approval. And yeah, all the other teams are climbing up there as well. I wonder if it's because I'm American, that's the reason why Haas is my my highest preferred. Alonso 2011 coming up. What do you mean? I'll go like straight into the lead, and then either due to strategy, everybody will just overtake me and then lap me by the end of the race. I really hope I don't get lapped, but maybe in a 100% race I would probably get lapped, but 50% hopefully not.
Hi, Zemma here. Just wanted to let you know what the team are hoping for in the race.
Alright, so pretty much the same thing, as it has been for the last couple of races. Felipe is 1.8 seconds a lap off the pace in qualifying, so I don't think he's going to be much of a problem to handle here in the race. I just got to make sure to keep it clean going into the first corner, first sector. Don't want to lose my wing or anything crazy because I'm not going to be able to put on the hard tire from that point with, you know, still 32 laps to go, and make it all the way to the end. So yeah, we got the weight reduction chassis upgrade in progress. It'll be there for Canada. I'm trying to think of whether or not I should take the new gearbox here, and then we just kind of finish where we are anyways, because I really don't want to take it at Monaco. I'm going to need to take this because I do not want a grid penalty for Monte Carlo. So P7, I mean, it's not exactly a super high place. It's pretty much exactly where I expect it to be. So let's just take it, and we'll have us a fresh gearbox in the race for Monaco, and still hopefully a fairly fresh power unit, as we got 40% durability improvement on there. Let's look at our upgrades R&D tree. How much is the gearbox upgrade? So 500 points, takes 1 week to develop. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe I should buy gearbox wear 1 and 2 fairly early on as well. I'm not really worried too much about everything else. Thinking maybe gearbox 1 and 2, and then control electronics 1, so that it prevents wear across everything. Martin, I have to have a fresh gearbox for Monaco, man. I have to think ahead. I don't want to be taking a grid penalty there. And we got good pace, so we're way ahead of everybody else that's right around us in their decision servers. Dude, you gotta be honest with yourself on that. Nah. Alonso's... I like how there was a French article today that came out about... Was it today or yesterday or something? About how Alonso was about to sign for Red Bull in 2009, but they wanted him to sign a 2-year deal, and he wouldn't agree to it because he wanted to go to Ferrari in 2010. Man. Hindsight 2020 for that guy, I tell you what. I really wish I could show that, but I can't. Chase Carey will not be happy with me.
He starts in pole
Ferrari
position,
1-2.
and Kimi Raikkonen completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton, and Ricciardo, Perez, Hülkenberg, Grosjean, and Carlos Sainz, Ocon, and a Williams, Kevin Magnussen, and Kvyat, Palmer, Massa.
So even with a 5-place grid penalty, I'm still like 4 places ahead of Felipe.
And Marcus Ericsson
That's so
rounds
bad.
off the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Alright.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
I'm not going to worry too much about running in rich, so I'm going to put a little bit extra fuel in there. But I want to definitely stick to standard for as much of this race as I can. I don't have Parc Fermé turned on, but I'm not going to change the setup at all here. Let's edit our strategy. I don't know if we can... Oh god, medium, hard. I don't know exactly how far we can go on these tires. I'm guessing maybe 7 or 8 laps. We're going to go for the one-stop. I mean... There's pretty much no reason not to. It kind of sucks, though. I can't, like, force myself out of the top 10 with a gearbox penalty and then switch over to the hard tire or something for the start of the race, or switch over to the medium and then go to the hard, and that would be probably a pretty easy race there to do a one-stop. But yeah, so Vettel actually, just thinking about that, he's on pole position on the medium tires, so he might actually fall down through the field. For some reason, the AI tend to have really bad pace. Whenever they start on just one compound harder than the AI on this game, like they just fall through the field for no reason at all. Whereas in real life, I'm sure, I mean, yeah, they'd be a bit slower, but I mean, I've seen videos, seen career mode episodes of Ferraris and the Mercedes and stuff on one compound harder tire is just falling like to the bottom of the top 10 in the first stint, which is just insane. So that's another thing Codemasters could definitely fix. But yeah, I think we're pretty much set to go. And yeah, let's just hopefully not do anything stupid here off the start. Already 3 wide in front of us. Had a bit too much wheel spin, so that's unfortunate. Almost broke too late there. Try to hold it around the outside of Grosjean. Just worried he wasn't going to give me any room there. They just about did. Let's see if we can maybe follow. They broke a bit earlier than I thought they would there. I was going to try to follow signs up the inside of Ocon. We'll go down into turn 5, down the inside. So Ricardo looks like he's fallen back to 7th, so it must be Perez in front of him. Alright, so already back up into the top 10. Signs braking extremely early there. Car's feeling awfully twitchy. I don't know if that's from the dirty air or exactly what's causing it, but let's go up into Ridge. Let's see if we actually can overtake anybody in a straight line here, or if our downforce is going to be too much. And I think this may end up being a long race here if we can't actually overtake anybody into turn 1. I mean, if there wasn't any dirty air on this game, it would be a lot easier to do something. Feel like probably what Red Bull were like in 2009 or 2010. Slow as hell in a straight line. Thinking maybe considering I didn't have part for me on, maybe I should have actually lowered my aero to like 6.6 or something. God. I was hoping that I'm trying to like predict where the AI are sort of going to place their cars so that I can maybe get a bit of fresh air whenever I get back on the throttle. So it looks like we have the Force India here of Perez just holding up the pack here a treat. He has, how many Red Bulls does he have behind him? Does he have both of them? I think he does. Yeah. So Perez has both of the Red Bulls on the medium tires just sat behind him. So I'm thinking because of that pace differential, they might not be able to overtake him, or at least not early on, maybe after a few laps here. So it's just going to be a massive DRS train. I don't expect to really be able to make any progress here on Carlos. Yeah. Maybe if he didn't have DRS, might be possible to overtake him. especially with this train going on in front of us here. I don't think there's really a whole lot of hope in that. I was thinking maybe I could get a run on him here into this hairpin. As we go for the dive bomb anyways, because why not? I mean, he left the door open, so I'll take it, no contact or anything. As we were able to get DRS here on Hulkenberg.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the hards.
Science is already 8/10 behind us, so we're looking good there. Should probably, yeah, probably keep an eye here on these tires. Even though the hard tire is probably not going to be any faster in terms of, you know, overall pace, probably a little bit slower. I'd be willing to bet it's a lot faster than a used set of softs. So. I was hoping maybe Hulk didn't have the RS there. Seems like he is struggling a lot more than I am when it comes to tire wear. I'm tiptoeing around a bit because of it, but definitely not as much as he is. We're able to just stay a lot closer, and he does not have the RS here, so we might be able to get him. As he goes defensive, interestingly. But not all the way to the inside, so we will take that position. Tires already not looking very good. But I think in the pre-race strategy we were looking at like lap 7, and then the tires would go off a cliff. I'm not really too worried about the performance I might lose on the at the cliff. But if I can just stay out that lap or two later here, if I can go to like 8 or 9, that's going to look a bit more promising for us to be able to do that one stop. Oh god, I didn't realize I was still in Rich. I was wondering why I was catching the Red Bulls quite quickly. I think it's just purely because of the arrow that I have, Martin. That was an absolutely terrible entry to that chicane. Yeah, I'm guessing the other cars are all probably running like 6.6 wing or somewhere around there. Doing a bit of lifting through turn 3 there. But yeah, if we can challenge the Red Bulls overall at the end of the race, that would be really cool. Not able to pull away from us right now.
Don't forget, pit
maybe they are just a little bit, but... Alright, so we're 51, 52 on the tires. We may as well, as Ricardo on the mediums already pitting after 7 laps. That's incredible. Huh. Alright then.
Pit window closing. Pit window is closing this lap.
Interesting, interesting tire strategy there from Red Bull Racing. Normally their strategy's a bit more on point than that. Tires are already all over the place here as Verstappen pulling away fairly quickly now. Sainz is still out on his soft tires. Not sure if he actually qualified 10th or if he was directly in front of us. Yeah, I guess if he was in front of us, he was on the tires he qualified on. I don't want to stay out too late here, so I think I'm going to pit at the end of the next lap. Tires are going to be way past their their expiration date, but I just don't want to. I don't want to run out of the hard tire by the end of the race, because I'm guessing it's not going to be a smooth sailing. The hard tires only wear 1% a lap. I'm sure they're probably still going to wear a couple of percent. So, as we got Felipe pitting this lap, so that's good. Only thing is, I'm sure he had to have been on a set of the harder tires since he qualified so far down. Interesting, yet again, seeing him pit super early, even though he's on hard tires. So yeah, I'm probably going to come out maybe even well behind where I was on track in terms of net position. But it all depends on how the traffic played out for the guys that already pitted at the end of lap 4 and 5 and 6 and all that. Let's save a little bit of fuel here through sector 3. Let's make sure that we're actually on the hard tire there. Good, because I'm not able to change it at this point. Don't want to do what you did at the pit entrance there, Martin. But at least I didn't have rain to contend with. Alright.
Release.
Alright, so didn't get held up there. Really good pit stop there by the Williams guys. So happy with that. We got Perez out on a set of mediums. Ricardo out on another set of mediums. Borderline, I'm guessing, has not pitted yet. Or if he has, he's just jumped like the entire field. Oh my god, look at how slow that car is. And I thought this Williams with a 9.9 Aero was bad. Wouldn't want to be that slow in the corners. It seems like with the increased aero, we are burning a little bit of fuel every lap over our target. So I think missed the apex there a little bit. I think we're just going to run sector 3 from here on out, and Bottas, that's the fastest lap. We're just going to run sector 3 and lean. And then Seb Vettel immediately comes back with another fastest lap. Yeah, these hard tires definitely feel better. And I'm hoping that they will get to the end. I got 3% wear on the outlap. Just doing a little bit of lifting there. Don't want to destroy the tires straight away. Hey, Stefanko, I knew you would appreciate that. Be nice if I get an apex though, at some point. That's a little bit better. Alright. We got 2.5 seconds on Hulkenberg. He's on set of mediums. So clearly he's not going to be able to carry those all the way to the end. Let's do a 23.9. What are we, like 2 seconds a lap slower than what Bottas did, over in like 2.3 seconds slower than Vettel's fastest lap? That's amazing. Oh, we got the long game in mind here. I normally like to take a late apex on that corner, kind of do a bit of a V, but the car just seems to just not like going off the line through turn 5, so I should probably start just trying to hug the inside like a normal apex. Oh, Jesus.
What happened? Let me know you're
Wow. Well, speaking of very, very embarrassing. Interesting. So I guess the question here is, do we use a flashback and go against the grain? Or do we just have to soak this up and go into the next race? That was very surprising. I mean, I don't know why the hell the car just jumped out over that curb. I mean, I had literally no input whatsoever in the wheel. I mean, I even straightened out the wheel so that it didn't do that. I have no idea why that just happened. I don't know. I blame Codemasters entirely. Stefanko, tell me, can I use a flashback or not? I will wait for your call. Since you are the lead moderator, it seems. Or are we just going to start our run of Lance Stroll crashing out at every race? Come on, Martin. Make a decision. Alright, well, whatever. It goes against what I've been saying all along, but whatever. I think that was honestly some serious bullshit anyways. Need to stay away from that curb from now on. I guess I'll just update my description and say say no flashbacks, no retries, no BS, and I'll just put maybe except for Spanish BS. I don't know, something along those lines. God, the car just does not want to rotate at all into that final chicane. So who is still in front of us? I'm guessing it's got to be a Force India. Yeah, it's Perez. I guess Ricardo, I think that was him overtaking Perez into turn 1. So we're a few seconds, wait, 5.5 seconds behind Perez. Obviously, he's still got another stop to make. We're going to try to stretch this all the way to the end. I have a feeling in the league race stuff, that DRS board on the outside there of that right-hander coming onto that back straight, that DRS board is not going to last very long. So we'll just give that curve, that inside curve there, a bit more breathing room from here on out. I mean, I guess our pace is somewhere right around maybe like a 24 dead. Got lucky there not to get a corner cut warning. So we're just gonna try to keep it like this. No, it's not exactly the most exciting thing in the world, but we're trying to bring Williams back to the top here, and there's no way to get them back to the top if we're sitting here doing 2 or 3 pit stops every race, and which is just definitely not the preferred strategy at any of these races. If we can one-stop it, that's going to be the way to go every time. We're going to drop into lean this time. Lock up as you do. Hulkenberg's still taking a little bit of time out of me. So 23.9. Say, Martin, if you're still there, let everybody know how your Formula Renault experience was. I'm sure that was really cool to be able to 20 of the most boring laps ever. You're definitely not wrong there. We have spam bot. Oh, okay. I thought you were just gonna spam ellipses over and over again. I'm glad you thought it was good. Oh my god, the amount of understeer. And not paying attention, going into turn 4. So it seems like if we can do like high 23s, we're able to sort of keep Hulkenberg just about matched, even though he's on the medium. Definitely testing my luck here with these corner cuts. Set Vettel with another fastest lap. I was gonna say he came out on a set of, I think another set of soft tires. Doing some crazy, I don't know what kind of strategy he's doing here. Ask you something about it.
Felipe in the pits. Felipe has pitted.
Did you ever actually upload any footage of it? Like besides just a single pass of you going by the pit straight? Oh, exceeded track limits. I had a feeling I'd probably get one there at some point. I think that was a little bit harsh, but Hulkenberg is already pitted then. So I'm just now seeing that. He's already pitted off of those mediums to go into probably, I guess, another set of mediums, or maybe onto a set of hards to go to the end. Just to think we're only just past halfway through this race. Codemasters. No! Well then. That was not me this time. That's, I think, the first time I've ever had the game freeze on me. That is incredible. Well, since I've already done the reset and everything, I'll do the race at some point offline, and I'll report back for Monaco. And I will let you guys know at the beginning how I end up doing. So this race has pretty much just been a disaster. But yeah, I appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll be back probably later this week, Thursday or Friday, and we'll do the Monaco Grand Prix. See if we can get Williams a bit of a freak result there. I'll just have to excuse Codemasters. Hopefully that's the only time. But I have a feeling it's probably not. But I would love to go off on a rant right now. But my shitty driving. Okay then. I mean, it wasn't the best. I can admit that. But I'm definitely not a fan of driving 20 laps on the same tire compound. But anyways, thanks for hanging out, guys. I appreciate it. If you haven't already, think about hitting the like button and subscribe if you haven't. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Sorry, couldn't finish the race. Can't do anything about it. It's glitched. It froze. It crashed. Typical Codemasters. So, until next time, Cody out. Oh no, sorry. It's Raven out. Oh my god. My cover is blown.